third race of the day. It's the Start Racing TV free trial, now Fillies Novice Stakes. And there's a look at the long odds-on favourite. And Not Real, his daughter of Kodiak, shaped really well at Kempton, and as we're going to see when we flick through the rest, a light race.
Yeah, absolutely, but she brings a big price tag. 500,000 as a breezer horse, daughter of Kodiak, good family. She was a short price at Kempton and only just denied. She finished off her race really powerfully, lost out in a photo finish, but it was a promising start. This is definitely a race without any depth to it at all, and really it looks a golden opportunity for her.
Yep, she'll come out of stall 3. Yeulan in behind is officially rated 45, due to be dropped 2 for that no show at Beverley.
Yeah, she's been beaten a long way on both of her handicap starts off mid-40s ratings, so she just looks very limited. The blinkers are worn for the first time today.
In behind is number 5, Highfield Harris for John and Sean Quinn. Jason Hart will be on board.
Yeah, this is a daughter of Gherkin. She's got a bit about her, actually. I quite like her. She's just looked a little bit green there in the paddock, but she's from quite a nice family. Bred to stay pretty well, so she might end up wanting middle distances, perhaps even on pedigree.
OK, we'll spin back round to number 4, Common Coney for Adrian Nichols and Paddy Mathers.
Yeah, last of 5 on the debut. This daughter of Massart, that was at Newcastle, so makes the turf debut this afternoon, but didn't really show enough on debut to think that she would be getting competitive anytime soon.
And number 2 is Jamie's Choice, who well held in 2 starts over further.
Yeah, both of them over a mile at Newcastle, so again turf debut. She's quite a rangy filly, she's quite big, but she hasn't shown much, obviously tailed off on those 2 starts.
And number 1 is Fair Isle Sue for Adam Nicholl and Cam Hardy. This is a 4-year-old. It's not going to be easy given the weight for age.
No, it's not. A belated debut for her, isn't it? Daughter of Sioux Nation. She's out of a 7 furlong winner. Is related to some decent handicap winners. But as you say, a 4-year-old, she's got to give weight away to the market principles here.
OK, we'll pick up number 3, Pendlebury Lane, who went down to start a few minutes ago. We'll pick her up down at the start. Let's look at dealer 6. Back at Redcar, the runners leaving the paddock and about to head down to the start, apart from number 3, Pendlebury Lane, who was went down a little bit ahead of the rest of them. 2 to 9, the favourite, but you go through the rest of them, Martin, you can see why.
Absolutely, yeah. No, it's a race without any depth to it at all. Obviously, Highfield Heiress, quite a nice pedigree, quite a nice looking filly, but might well want a little bit further. Pendlebury Lane was very green when in the market on debut as a 2-year-old at Beverley. She is from a good family, half sister to Black Rod, who was a good sprint handicapper. So there might be a little bit more ability there for Pendlebury Lane. She's obviously had an issue to have missed last season. She was also early to Purst and wears the hood as well, so she might just not be the most straightforward necessarily, just reading between the lines. She was very early down to the start, but Not Real, very promising debut from her. She could be a really nice filly, couldn't she? She obviously breezed well last year to be picked up for €500,000. And the debut was really promising at Kempton. She'd have won if she'd have just got rolling a little bit earlier.
Yeah, different ground conditions today, but you look past Highfield Heiress and possibly Pendlebury Lane. We know that the rest of them are sort of 45 rated horses.
Absolutely, yeah. There's not been anything from Jamie's Choice, Come On Coiny, last of 5 on debut, and Yeulan, we know, has had a couple of goes in handicaps off 46 and not really, and has been soundly beaten both times. So they are a limited bunch, there is no doubt about it, and it just looks like a golden opportunity, doesn't it? I mean, essentially Not Real has scared away most of what might have been the opposition for this race. If you had a filly in it that you thought might be capable of winning a novice race, I think that from the entries to the declarations, her presence has effectively scared off the opposition, and she comes here as understandably a 5s on very short price favourite.
She'll jump out of stall 3 as well, and we're imagining there's enough evidence walking it before the first race. We said before the first, but after watching the first 2 races, they're going to jump out and edge to our right as we look down the track to their left.
Yeah, I think Jack Mitchell, it'd be very much surprising if he didn't just make use of her and think, look, I'm on a very short price favourite, I'll go forward, keep it extremely uncomplicated. It's only a small field anyway, and he should be able to get that position if indeed he wants it, which you'd expect that he would. She's stepping up a furlong in trip from she's keeping it the same trip. The way that she ran on debut, she shaped to me like she would stay another furlong in time, but
maybe on slow turf will be fine.
Slowish turf I think will be absolutely fine, and she looks a pretty smart prospect, doesn't she? And the Kempton form as yet is untested, but it looked a race with a bit of depth to it. You had a Godolphin horse, Andrew Balding had a runner in there, George Bowie. There were lots of big stables. The filly that won it, Kind of Blue, is a well-bred type as well. So look, it was a good race, I think, at Kempton. Certainly a deeper race than this, and she ran extremely well in it. So it's just should be a case of a box-ticking exercise, really, for her to get the 1 on the board and onwards and upwards beyond today to better things, you would imagine. Highfield
Heiress is her biggest danger, according to the betting. I suppose that's largely we don't know, or she's no convictions, but the rest of them just haven't showed any.
No, she looks quite a nice. She does look a nice filly in the paddock. I quite liked her, and she looks in really good condition. She looks like she's done plenty of work, but if you're going to beat Not Real, you're going to have to be above average, because I think she showed on her debut that she is above average. She probably ran to mid-80s first time up, and there might be improvement there to come. So Highfield Heiress is going to have to run to a good level, and she's really bred to come into her own over maybe a mile or further in time, to be honest. So 6 furlongs, I would imagine, will be very much bare minimum for her.
Okay, that's about to go forward.
Pendlebury Lane has a really good pedigree. It's the Armstrongs have done extremely well with the family, and she was just 2 green on her only start as a 2-year-old. So you wouldn't know with her. There should be a lot more to come from her, and they've obviously persevered to this point, presumably after something's kept her off the track as a 3-year-old.
Yeah, 596 days.
But it's a long time off, and the hood and the early to purse suggests that maybe she can just be a little bit of an edgy type of filly, perhaps.
Okay, loading underway. Highfield Heiress going to go into the widest draw, stall 7, in the hands of Jason Hart. Jamie's Choice to win to stall 4. The favourites already in stall 3. Not Real. And you envisage Jack Mitchell keeping it fairly simple.
Yeah, I think he'll just keep it very straightforward. There's no reason not to in a race like this. And as you say, they've been going towards that far rail so far, and that seems like the place to be.
Okay, 4 Common Coney will be into stall 6 as we can go up to Gareth and get the call for the third race here at Redcar.
Last one heading in, Come On Coiny. We're set to go. Off, racing 4. The Start Racing TV free trial now, Fillies at Novice Stakes. Newcomer Highfield Heiress was the slowest to get going. The red-hot favourite Not Real in the black and yellow stripes, leading them together with Pendlebury Lane through the first furlong. And then away to the left-hand side in the white cap is Come On Coiny, who races in company with Yeulan, who's against the rails, and Jamie's Choice in the blue jacket, all smothered up through the opening quarter of a mile, working back to Fair Isle Sue and Highfield Heiress. Making the journey on towards the final 3 furlongs. Quite tight up front at the moment between Not Real and Pendlebury Lane, the latter who's making her comeback, having had 596 days off the track. Away to the left is Come On Coiny, chased next by Jamie's Choice and Yeulan, who runs the fence. A length and a half back off those to Fair Isle Sue and Highfield Heiress. Less than 2 furlongs to go. Not Real shaken up here to try and fully get past Pendlebury Lane. Does now get past Pendlebury Lane and begins to assert. Not Real on the approach to the final furlong, moves away by some 2 lengths now to Pendlebury Lane. Back in third is Jamie's Choice, and then Highfield Heiress is putting in some good late work, but it's all over. Not Real will go 1 better than she did at Kempton on her debut, scores second time up and scores well. Pendlebury Lane hanging on for second from Highfield Heiress, who's certainly shaped with promise following that slow beginning. Jamie's Choice and Fair Isle Sue will wider out.
Yeah, straightforward opportunity for Not Real. Roger Ver and Jack Mitchell 1-5, and I'm not sure if many people did, but if he did take the long odds on, he didn't really have that many moments of worry.
No, she just came under pressure a little bit at the 2 pole, but she soon asserted her authority, and she was just far too good, as anticipated really, for this field. She looks a nice filly, very straightforward, has a likeable attitude, doesn't she? When she comes under a little bit of pressure, she does pick up, and she seems really uncomplicated, so I'm sure she will go on to much bigger and better things, and they'll be getting some black type with her, I would think, or aiming to, before too long.
Okay, she's one nice. We'll try and grab a word with Jack Mitchell, and he's flying back down to Newmarket. If we can grab a word with him before he does that.